Every year, over 2 billion kilograms of sheep's wool are produced worldwide. To meet this massive demand, more than 15 million sheep need to be shorn annually. But how does a simple animal coat transform into one of the world's most coveted fabrics? To find out, let's take a journey to New Zealand. New Zealand is the world's third largest wool producer. Sheep's wool is highly prized as one of the most valuable natural fibers on Earth, renowned for its incredible softness, warmth, and versatile utility. Best of all, it is a completely renewable resource because sheep naturally grow a new fleece every year, which is regularly harvested through shearing. This shearing process is typically done once or twice a year, right before the summer season begins, so that the sheep do not suffer from the stifling heat and have ample time to regrow their coat before winter arrives. So how is this wool processed? The journey begins by gathering the sheep into a pen, where they undergo health checks and are sorted into different groups based on the quality and color of their wool. Next, highly skilled shearers use electric clippers to shave the wool with utmost precision and care. The ultimate goal is to keep the wool fibers intact while ensuring the animal remains completely unharmed. An experienced shearer can shear up to 250 sheep a day, spending just 1 to 2 minutes on each animal. The key secret to this rapid pace lies in how they hold the sheep, ensuring the animal feels safe, comfortable, and calm, which makes the job much easier. For instance, in New Zealand, shearing always begins from the belly. The belly wool is usually shorter and stained, making its market value slightly lower, so it is separated right away. After removing the belly wool, the shearer focuses on the high-quality, clean white fleece on the sheep's back and sides. Shaving right from the roots, they glide the machine flawlessly. Even in sensitive areas, where they must rely entirely on touch rather than sight, their hands move with surgical precision. Next, the shearer applies a specialized technique known as the long pass. This single cut runs the entire length of the sheep's spine, peeling away a massive, continuous sheet of wool in one clean motion. Finally, they move toward the head to trim the remaining wool around the face. Thoroughly clearing the area around the eyes and ears is critical to preventing wool blindness. This condition occurs when overgrown wool blocks a sheep's line of sight. As soon as one sheep is done, the shearer automatically moves to the next, shearing hundreds of sheep daily and earning about $2 per animal. This harvested coat of wool is called a fleece. It is placed onto a sorting table where it is meticulously inspected, and less desirable parts, like stain spots or plant debris, are discarded. Finally, the clean wool is rolled up and packed into massive, tightly compressed bales, fully ready for transport. The shearing process not only yields top-tier fiber, but also prepares the sheep to withstand the upcoming seasonal temperatures. These heavy wool bales are then shipped to a cleaning and processing plant, where each bale is carefully unpacked and spread out to facilitate cleaning. In this initial stage, the wool passes through a specialized opening machine that loosens the fibers and allows air to circulate, easily shaking off dust and small plant particles. Eliminating this debris beforehand significantly reduces water consumption in the subsequent washing stages. Before moving forward, workers thoroughly inspect the wool to detect and remove any foreign contaminants. Equipped with teeth and an open grate, the opening machine gently shakes the wool, causing buried dirt and soil remnants to drop to the bottom. This agitation splits the wool fibers into individual locks, ensuring the material is completely free of soil debris before moving to the next stage. Next, the actual washing begins. The wool is submerged into a series of consecutive tubs filled with hot water maintained at 77 to 82 degrees Celsius, with a small amount of soap added to dissolve natural grease and remaining impurities. Each tub features a pressing system that squeezes out dirty water between each washing step. This modern system allows clean water to flow continuously from the final tub back toward the first tub. As a result, this purification process runs non-stop, 24/7, ensuring the wool emerges completely pure and free of impurities. Throughout this scouring phase, the first 3 tubs are filled with soapy water to strip away the fiber's natural grease or lanolin, while the final 3 tubs are used for rinsing with clean water. While it might seem that more soap means a better clean, a precisely measured amount is used here to preserve the wool's natural quality and softness. Maintaining this chemical balance is absolutely crucial. Too little soap won't clean the wool properly, while too much can leave behind sticky, fatty residues that complicate downstream processing. By the time the wool reaches the 4th tub, the water begins to look remarkably clear. Will it get even cleaner? Yes, when the wool reaches the final tub, the water becomes so crystal clear that you can see right through it. Although this water is not safe to drink, it successfully erases the last traces of soap or alkalinity, perfectly preparing the wool for the drying stage. The washed wool is now fed into a massive hot air dryer. This machine uses steam-heated air circulated by large fans inside a rotating drum, maximizing the drying surface area. Compared to older flat dryers, this drum system dries the wool much more cost-effectively and takes up far less space as the wool tumbles up and down through 6 large drums. As the wool exits the dryer, it goes through a final inspection where workers visually check for and remove any unwanted fibers, such as off-colored threads or stray debris. The wool then passes through 2 dust removal machines to clear away any remaining microscopic dust before being rebaled. Thus, the wool that arrived as raw bales leaves the line as identical bales, but now perfectly pure and bright. In this final processing stage, each wool bale is carefully weighed and undergoes laboratory moisture and grease analysis to ensure it meets strict quality standards. Once certified, it is moved to a covered warehouse to await shipment. The bales eventually arrive at a sorting house or grading center. Here, the bales are separated and the exact weight and volume of fiber required for a specific project are measured using digital scales. Depending on client demands, blending different types or colors of wool is entirely possible at this stage. For example, blending natural white wool with a specific ratio of dyed black wool creates a beautiful heather gray tone. Along with creating blends, the sorting house processing helps restore the fluffiness and volume of the fibers, which had become compacted under the intense pressure of packaging. Now, it is fully ready for carding. Carding is a critical step in the yarn manufacturing process. Here, the wool passes through a series of rollers lined with fine metal bristles, which untangle all knots and align the fibers completely parallel to one another. The final roller, fitted with ultra-fine teeth, outputs a continuous web or layer of wool, which is automatically split into narrow strips. As these strips pass through 2 specialized rollers, they are compressed into a soft, delicate strand, known in textile terms as roving. This marks the very first step of making yarn. These roving strands are then fed into a spinning frame, where they are tightly twisted and drawn out simultaneously to create a highly durable, fine wool yarn. However, this yarn cannot be woven into fabric immediately. It must first undergo a winding process, where it is wound onto spools or bobbins to prepare for weaving. During the weaving phase, the yarns are arranged in 2 directions: the warp, lengthwise threads, which forms the strong foundation of the fabric and usually consists of about 2,500 threads, and the weft, crosswise threads, which is woven perpendicularly to create the final pattern. The warp not only reinforces the fabric's durability, but also allows for unique patterns like stripes and plaids through color variations. Once prepared, the warp is transferred onto a loom. The needles on the loom move up and down at a precise speed, creating an opening for the weft to pass through and interlace flawlessly to form the desired fabric. For new design setups, this threading process is typically done manually by hand, which can take an expert artisan up to 2 days to fully ready the loom. While on the loom, the warp and weft interlock with absolute precision to give birth to our desired wool fabric. Next, the woven fabric moves to a quality control or inspection department where it is thoroughly examined under powerful lights for any tears, flaws, or defects. Any minor imperfections are meticulously corrected by hand using tweezers and scissors, guaranteeing product excellence. If the final product is planned to have fringes or tassels, certain sections are left unwoven during the weaving process, so loose threads remain. These loose threads are twisted together and secured with a specialized locking thread. Later, when the fabric is washed, those fringes set permanently into a durable, clean finish. The next crucial phase of production is felting. Here, using hot water and mechanical agitation, the fabric is intentionally shrunk. This forces the individual wool scales to interlock tightly, making the material much denser, more compact, and twice as warm. During this process, special detergents are applied to give the wool a silk-like softness. To safeguard the fabric against moth damage, and in some cases make it machine washable, additional chemical treatments are applied here. This vastly increases its longevity and makes it easier to care for. For solid colored blankets, the dyeing process is done right after weaving, allowing color adjustments to match seasonal or specific customer demands. After felting or dyeing, the fabric enters a stage called scalping. This process is similar to carding, utilizing metal bristled rollers that smooth the fabric's surface and create tiny air pockets within the fibers. This thermal insulation makes blankets incredibly warm while remaining exceptionally lightweight. Finally, the fabric arrives at the sewing plant, where it is carefully cut using modern machinery according to the desired designs for blankets, scarves, or winter accessories. The edges or borders of each item are finished with flawless stitching, enhancing both their aesthetic appeal and overall durability. At this ultimate stage, brand labels or tags are attached, and a final quality control inspection is conducted before packaging. In this manner, after a long, intricate, and highly detailed 10-day manufacturing workflow, a sheep's raw coat is transformed into a fashionable, comfortable masterpiece, ready to provide style and comfort to users. This is how wool is produced on an industrial scale. What did you think of this entire process? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can check out the other videos popping up on your screen right now, which you might love. See you next time. Thank you.